Hey, good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael here, doing a little stream action with you guys. We are going to be talking about what we've got going on. Looks like my repeated restarts. Anyway, let's talk about our weather outside. Just noticed I had a couple issues where it looks like it might not be going up to my personal Facebook page, but I believe we're streaming on the WSYX page and also on our YouTube page. So here's what we've got going on. The last couple of days, we have been stuck in this conveyor belt of rain moving its way across Indiana, Illinois, then Indiana, then into Ohio. So we're on the conveyor belt still. This is like when you get it at the grocery store and you're only buying one or two items. There's not much on the conveyor belt right now. It's pretty empty. So we are going to be dealing with a couple of showers this morning, kicking their way out of here. There's also lightning added to this, but we're not seeing any rumbles of thunder right now. Looks like we got a nice little cell popping up right back where I used to grow up here, Southern Dark County. We'll zoom into that real quick. But yeah, I grew up about right, let me show you. Right there is where I grew up, right near where that little kink is in Interstate 127. So anyway, going back to our viewing area, I just noticed that moving back through where my parents live. Got a few showers moving through right now. We'll deal with these moving through between now and midday. Moving forward, things are going to remain pretty quiet as we continue on into the afternoon today with the sun trying to come out. Looking forward to that. Fog has been an issue this morning. We have a dense fog advisory for central and northern Ohio, and I'll show you what time these are expiring. So for us here in the metro area and areas to the north, this expires at 10 a.m. We do have some flood warnings to the south. These expire at about 11 a.m. So looking pretty good heading into the afternoon once we kick all this out of here. But this morning we are obviously starting out very foggy. Looking at the downtown cameras, we've had a huge improvement just here in the metro area. And I'll show you what the visibilities are across the area next. And then we'll get to some of the other cameras. So you look at some of the visibilities, we've seen a big improvement for most of us. The only spot where we still have visibility down to zero is up in Mount Vernon. So 0 miles visibility for there. And as we take a look at some of the other cameras that we've got across the area, it's not terrible. We've seen improvement with the rain kicking its way through. It's actually helped to clear up some of it. Here at the station, just about 3 miles west of Columbus, our camera's up a little bit higher. So you can just see how bad that fog is here at the station. But again, going up into the clouds with our camera, since it is a little bit taller than all of these other ODOT cameras, we're still seeing some fog outside this morning. So our focus as we head into the next few days is going to turn to the potential of some severe storms. So let's talk about that now. And the fact that today is probably going to be our first day in the 70s since October of last year. We have not been in the 70s since October 19th of last year. So today should be the first day in the 70s since then, which if you take a look at the numbers, you have to go back about, wrong graphic there, about 138 days since we've been in the 70s. So I'm looking forward to this. We got to 72 back on October 19th. Since then, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s for highs. So we have pretty good weather on the way heading into the next few days with warmer temperatures finally. Now, let's talk about what we do have on the way, because our weather headlines here, we are expecting some stray rain today. A couple pockets this morning into the afternoon. We're mostly cloudy, warm, and then we got some gusty thunderstorms as we get to tomorrow. The time frame for those seems to be between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. What I will tell you is that stay tuned to the forecast tomorrow morning, because the models have shifted it a little bit earlier than what it was initially looking like. So I'm hopeful that we will be able to get this done and over with before the crew match tomorrow night. But make sure that you have some way of being notified if there is a severe thunderstorm warning issued for your location, because we will be dealing with some of these thunderstorms sliding through in the afternoon tomorrow between about 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. As a matter of fact, we'll go to Futurecast here. I think this is the latest version. If not, we're going to slow it down and edit it manually. So here you can see sun tries to come out in the afternoon for us. It's looking great in the afternoon tomorrow. And we will try it, today. And we'll get into the 70s today and tomorrow. There are a couple pockets of rain there later on in the evening. It's not widespread, but there are a few pockets of rain as we head into the afternoon and evening today. But most of it, the rain is going to be here for the first part of the day today. By the way, if you have questions, throw them on the chat. I'm keeping an eye on that to see if there are any questions. So I'll be monitoring that from the WSYX Facebook page. Let's get to tomorrow. Tonight we stay pretty mild, 60s for the temperatures overnight. So open the windows to the house. It's going to be fantastic tonight to sleep. Good breeze coming out of the south for us. Then we start to get these thunderstorms to move in. This is at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Here's a look at 1:30. The storms strengthen quickly as they move into south and eastern Ohio, and they continue to strengthen as they move farther east through the afternoon tomorrow. So by the time that we get into late afternoon, there you can see the storms getting stronger into West Virginia and also Pennsylvania. Storms are going to move in and out pretty quickly, but there are a few lingering showers tomorrow evening. So if you're going to the crew match, notice there, 9:30, there are a couple of stray lingering showers. That's the actual cold front. What's coming through in the afternoon is just kind of that wave that's going to get kicked out ahead of it. And then we're dry Sunday. It looks nice, 45 at 7 a.m. And then we warm up to 51 by noon. Should get into the upper 50s on Sunday. Maybe 60s, but most models are keeping us a little cooler than that. So the potential for severe weather tomorrow is going to be best in central, southern, and eastern Ohio. Northern and western Ohio still could see some strong storms, but the odds of it are lower. It's more to the south and east tomorrow, with the biggest concern being strong, gusty winds. You can see that here. That's the elevated risk for central eastern Ohio. Low risk for strong winds to the north and west, still low, but not zero. And then hail in that low risk, very low risk of tornadoes, but still possible to the east, especially tomorrow. So to kind of break it down for you here, and we'll show you the 7-day forecast too. And again, if you have any questions, throw them in on the chat because I am monitoring that. 74 for the high today. A few pockets of rain this morning, then a mix of sun and clouds and warm. Honestly, I probably should have had those flip-flop because the chance of rain is primarily this morning if you're reading those chronologically. 62 for the high tomorrow, partly cloudy and mild. A little bit of light fog tonight, not as bad as what we have out there this morning because we should have stronger winds tonight and tomorrow. It'll be breezy tomorrow. Winds out of the southwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour outside of the thunderstorms. But inside those storms, that's when we could have some of the gusts up to 60 miles per hour maybe. So again, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. is when the window looks right now. I just looked at another forecast model, and it had it coming in earlier, as early as maybe 10 or 11 a.m. The earlier it pops in, the less, the weaker they're going to be, the less strong they will be. So the earlier they pop in, that's better news for us. But yeah, it's going to kick through tomorrow. It is an alert day. I'm not expecting widespread severe weather, but some of the heavier pockets could become severe. Sunday we're dry. Monday we're dry. Don't forget to move those clocks back an hour this weekend. And then as we head into Monday, should be dry, 68. Some scattered showers and storms Tuesday. 40% chance on Tuesday, but a much better shot on Wednesday. Some soaking rain. And then we drop to 47 by the time that we get into the end of next week on Thursday. And it kind of stays right there in that 50-degree range heading into next weekend as well. So all in all, not terrible temperature-wise for us. 47 is our normal high temperature for this time of the year. But again, don't forget to move those clocks forward. We spring forward this weekend with daylight saving time starting Sunday morning at about 2 a.m. So we are going to see our sunrise sunset times shift an hour later from Saturday to Sunday, 7:30 sunsets for us for the first time this year. And the other thing to note, as we mentioned, it's going to be the first time we're getting into the 70s this year. So here's some stats for you. The average first date that we get to 70 degrees is around St. Patrick's Day. Lately, it's been a lot earlier. The earliest ever was 2020, January 11th. The latest ever was April 27th, so that was back in 1884. But you look at the last 4 years, and they have all been before St. Patrick's Day. So we've been leaning a little bit earlier and earlier. And if we hit it today, it would be pretty early for us, up there in early March. So I'm going to see if there are any questions coming in on the live chat. I haven't seen any, but again, if you have questions, throw them in on the chat. I just basically wanted to really highlight the timing of these storms. And I want to do one other thing here. I'm going to zoom in to Futurecast and manually adjust what model we're picking out of this. So as we pull this up, bear with me here. I'm going to pop this into tomorrow midday. So here's 11:30. I want to see when this is actually firing up. So let's see. Is this the 12Z model? Yeah, this is the 12Z one. So this is brand new. So this is the new model. Let me back this up and go through tomorrow slow. So again, this is brand new. We're going to get these storms to start firing up near Cincinnati, Dayton by 9:30. And again, this one we didn't even have for on air. I mentioned earlier, a second ago, that this is firing up a little bit earlier. So as we move this forward in time, not terribly strong by 10:30. By the time that we get to 11:30 or noon, got a few storms here in central Ohio, but watch them. They're likely going to strengthen up a lot more as they move into eastern Ohio better ingredients in eastern Ohio tomorrow. So there you start seeing a little bit more orange and yellow. This is at 1:30 in the afternoon tomorrow. Some showers behind it, though, for Columbus at 2:30. And then as we continue on into the afternoon, they race out of here pretty quickly. So, again, this is the brand new Futurecast. A couple lingering showers in the afternoon, so that'll kick through. And still a couple of spotty showers by 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. So that gives you an idea of when the strongest storms will be. We installed some steps in here, by the way.
What is happening?
Phil Kelly's going down to the dungeon.
Coming back up.
Good morning, Phil.
Oh, good morning, guys. I didn't know you were on.
The newest Futurecast bumps the storms now between about 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. So it shifted everything a little bit earlier.
Okay. Thank you for the heads up.
So regardless, it's going to be an alert day tomorrow. Stay weather aware in case those storms do become severe for us there. All right, Barbara, good morning. See the comment coming in from you. Don't see any other comments on there. Let me check YouTube to see if we have any comments on there. 1 second here while I try to pull this up and see if we have any comments on the YouTube live stream this morning. And pulling in, I'm watching a commercial for dad bods and t-shirts. All right, so here we go. I'm always interested, like obviously it's pretty specific advertisements there. Targeted ads. There you go. That's what I was trying to get to. I don't see any comments coming up on the YouTube channel, but hopefully this is good information to share with you guys. Again, these storms likely moving through midday through mid-afternoon tomorrow, and they do strengthen and get stronger as they move into eastern Ohio. And that's why we're concerned a little bit more with eastern Ohio for these storms to get gusty as they move through. We might get hail. We might get an isolated tornado, but the big thing is we're just going to have strong winds already tomorrow, 10 to 20 miles per hour, and the storms kind of tap into that and can kick those out a little bit more. So hopefully that answers the questions for you guys about what we have coming up this weekend. We still have the dense fog advisory to the north till 11 a.m. We've got some flood warnings in southern Ohio, 10 or 11 a.m. depending on where you are for these. But basically some fog to the north, some flooding to the south, but we're going to kick that out of here and hopefully get into some afternoon sun with the first 70s of the year on the way. Break out those bell bottoms. Phil Kelly will be in at noon today. Jennifer Herbert's in tonight. Meteorologist Sarah Converse is in tomorrow morning, and I highly recommend stay tuned to the forecast later today and tomorrow as we adjust that timing of when the storms are expected. But just be aware they could get a little gusty tomorrow. And I highly recommend, if you haven't done so yet, I got to jump onto another meeting here in less than a minute. Download our free Ohio weather app. Just search Ohio WX in your app store, because not only will it give you the forecast that identically matches what's on TV, it will also give you a 6-hour, a 24-hour Futurecast. Plus, you can track the rain as it moves in for you guys. So that's it for the stream. I got to jump onto another meeting here real quick. See you guys. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and enjoy those warm temperatures.